Loktarogar from the Hateful Geeks, coming to you live from Baron's chat. We're here to talk trash and make inappropriate comments about fucking your mom.
Zug, zug.
It's Blizzcon, everybody, and your Hateful Geeks are super excited because big time gamers and big time Blizzard fans. So saddle up with your Griffin and or Manticore and get ready to mount this fucking convention. I am one of your many hosts, Phil.
And this is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
And we are the Hateful Geeks, Zug Zug. Now, something need doing. Quit poking me, and let's get started on this. I'll talk about the highlights of BlizzCon. So our own Varian Rin, Sweeney, is a huge Blizzard fan.
I am. I have always been. I
do believe you even were gonna work there. You were.
I actually applied there a long time ago. Got offered a job. Unfortunately, I couldn't take it just due to circumstances at the time. But yeah, I actually was almost in California, in Irvine, and working on their games.
Oh shit!
Oh man! I really wish you had taken the job because I would have been like, I know a guy who works at Blizzard, and
I could have got you guys tickets for free. You could have came out and.
Well, dreams can. You know what? We can still dream someday. You never know. It might happen again.
Maybe we'll now see. I'll go do it for sure.
well, once again, welcome back to Hateful Geeks. And who raised your? Okay, so of the four of us, who here has actually played World of Warcraft? I know Andy has. Oh, all four of us play World of Warcraft.
Not as nearly as much as you guys did. Like
There's no such thing as like a partial addiction to World of Warcraft.
It was wake up, log in, check everything, go to work. While at work researching World of Warcraft, go home, microwave a can of like SpaghettiOs or something.
You can't microwave a can; it's metal.
Did you? Oh, I did it. And then I would go.
Did you also ask your mom for the bathroom?
Mom, meatloaf.
Mom, hot pockets. Ooh, who's my big baby?
I tried it like 2 or 3 times, and then I was like, this isn't for me.
You made it sound like drugs. I tried it.
Hold on.
It is kind of a drug.
It was drugs.
As Andy is describing, like, oh no, I woke up, and then I played it, and then I went to work, and then I researched it at work, and then I went home, and then I
played it some more.
Made SpaghettiOs and played it some more. That's not a fucking drug.
But the difference here, Tim, is Andy has done the first step by admitting he has a problem, and you're trying to play it off like you didn't. If you played World of Warcraft, you had a problem. Period. You're not. Your addiction isn't better than mine. Don't you come down off your fucking high horse.
Never.
Did you play Horde or Alliance, Tim?
I don't know.
Liar!
I played it like
son of a bitch.
Were you a human?
Fuck. Everyone knows what they played. Sure. People wore T-shirts. It was like Israelis and Palestinians. Like if you saw someone in the street that was like sporting the opposite faction, you literally dueled them in the street. It was like, you're telling me you don't remember what faction you rolled? Give me a break. No. Liar. Anyway.
I mean, sure.
World of Warcraft was a huge staple, a huge milestone in the gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
When its dawn was like early aughts, like 2001, 2002.
Yeah,
maybe almost 2003, maybe.
It was in 2003.
I
believe is when it came out. Because I was my junior year of high school. I didn't really play it that much. But once I graduated in 2004, went to college, I had a buddy of mine who played it all the time. I used to sit and watch him play it. I'm like, "What are you playing? What is this?" And then, like a good drug dealer, he gave me a copy.
The first taste is free. A lot of people think of World of Warcraft as like the dawn of Blizzard, but it's really not. Like it was just really when it went very like mainstream, like dinner table talk. Like, so how'd your orc rolling go today? It was good, Dad. No, but I mean, before that, Blizzard, it had like the 3 Vikings games.
Yeah, the Lost Vikings was their original game.
Lost Vikings. They had all 3 of the regular Warcraft real-time strategy games: Warcraft 1, 2, the extension with the pirates, and then Warcraft 3, which was like the big that was like Warcraft 3 was the dawn of like modern Blizzard as we know it.
Yeah. And that's when they brought out, like, they had their two, that's when they started doing, like, I don't know if Blizzard invented this. I don't think they did, but they had like the expansion packs, right? So like all of their games had expansion packs. So
I don't think they invented the expansion, but they definitely perfected it. Blizzard has kind of been known for that. They take something somebody else has done and they do it right.
Right. So you have like, so we're talking about Warcraft 3. They brought out the Frozen Throne, which was the story of Arthas, which was like, it was like the best story out there.
It was the story of Warcraft. Nobody gave two shits about like orcs versus humans. I mean, it's typical fantasy Tolkien fare. But when you introduced Arthas and like the Scourge and the Undead and all the different factions that eventually would build the world of Warcraft, it was a story that like sucked a lot of people in. And then being able to be a part of that in an MMO, which took a lot of liberties from games like EverQuest and a lot of MUDs, like what Andy's played.
Yeah.
I mean, this was not something brand new to the genre, but it was the first time a massive multiplayer online role-playing game became mainstream enough that you could like walk into a room and at least 2 or 3 people you knew were playing Warcraft.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like back in those the initiation of World of Warcraft, like when you fought like Onyxia or whatever, it was like you had to have 40 people.
Molten
40.
Core, bro.
Molten Core.
Like you had to think about that. You couldn't just walk in with like us 4 can walk in and do something. You needed to know 40 people.
That's way too much effort for a video game. I'm sorry.
It was.
I'm sorry.
I actually quit playing Warcraft during what they call vanilla WoW.
Yeah.
So when
original WoW.
World of Warcraft came out, I was doing the grind, leveling. And then I got towards the end level and I was like, Burning Crusade came out. Played it for a little bit. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I'm liking it.
So,
and then I think their peak, the Wrath of the Lich King, which brought the Arthas story into the MMO.
Yeah.
And that was their creme de la creme.
Yeah. And the reason I liked the one before that, sorry, the Burning Crusade. Because if you played Warcraft 3, you knew all about the Dark Portal. The Dark Portal was like the big plot of that story where, they're bringing demons into this portal. And you actually got to go through the portal in the Burning Crusade. So that's why I thought that was a pretty cool aspect. But you're right. I think the Arthas story is, it's...
Naxxramas was my favorite raid.
I played vanilla WoW. I was a day one player. I tried to get into the beta and I got like shafted on somebody trying to sell me a beta key. And I'm just going to say, yeah, I tried to buy a beta key and I did not get the beta key and I lost $200. It turned me off of online purchases for like a good decade. Like I would never trust an online purchase again. But then the game finally released. I bought it day one. I played it. I played an undead rogue and my name was Shank McStab.
Jesus fuck.
Don't you fucking judge me, Tim, with your judging eyes. I played Shanky McStab and I was Horde and I was like, for the Horde. And I played straight through vanilla. I was in a 40-man raiding guild. We did Molten Core. We had Molten Core in lockdown. We had DKP point systems for like attendance. It became a fucking job, dude.
Yeah, it is.
But I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it.
And it had a little something for everybody, right? Like it had like your leveling, your questing to get better gear. It had your crafting aspect where you could like craft and make your own stuff to sell to other people. It also eventually started to have like, gathering professions. It had little mini games. They eventually kind of brought Pokemon into the game where you would go out and gather little creatures that you could have battle each other.
This sounds a lot like a lot of social interaction that I don't even want to do in my regular life.
It was. It gave people
fucking Jesus.
I would talk to people through voice online chat, through guilds and stuff. I know by name. I know their voice. I know everything about them. They live somewhere in the country. I don't know where.
Y'all are weird.
So I played like Andy did. I played through like vanilla and then I quit after a while because there was nothing left to do until the expansion got announced. And right about then is actually when I met Andy and Josh at Chase when we were working there. And I think like Josh made some kind of joke during our training class about like LOLs, and I was like, Raffle now, Raffle counter. We were speaking like secret nerd World of Warcraft internet language before the dawn of internet language,
right?
Because we're old. Fuck all of you millennials who think you invented the internet. And we immediately he caught me looking at World of Warcraft forums in class when I should have been doing my job. And then he introduced me to Andy, and it was like, and then everything fell apart at that point. We were like, we're going back. And then I think Norm was playing too, and we all decided to go Alliance at that point. So I re-rolled and went Paladin.
And then Andy was my boss. So for you that don't know that, Andy was my boss when I first started work, and we were doing our normal work, and all of a sudden we mentioned something in passing about Warcraft or something. He's like, "Oh, you play Warcraft?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "So do I." And then
see,
let's play. He's like, "Do we just become best friends?" Yep.
So I'm the only one here that did not work for Chase.
Correct.
You're also the only person here who didn't play World of Warcraft correctly, apparently.
So
see, I made lasting lifetime friendships playing this game, so I'm never going to look down my nose at it.
Okay, so back towards like BlizzCon, right? So for those of you that don't know, Blizzard Entertainment is a company that's made several games. Like we said, they started with the Lost Vikings. They went into Humans versus Orcs. They went into the Warcraft series. They've since expanded, right? So you had World of Warcraft. You also had StarCraft. StarCraft's been around just as long as Warcraft.
StarCraft's been around since like the early 90s.
Yeah, so was Warcraft. So like the original Warcraft and StarCraft kind of came out together. And StarCraft has been a competitive game, and like you have esports now, which yes, you can watch on ESPN and stuff like that. StarCraft is one of the original like competitive games
in
like,
Korea.
In Korea, like that was like Koreans made money off this game. Like, it was like ridiculous. It was crazy. And so like StarCraft 1 came back in the early 90s. They didn't bring out StarCraft 2 until like 20 years later.
There's a lot of demand for it. Right, people were really pissed off there was no sequel, and StarCraft 2 was amazeballs.
It was, yeah. So they finally brought out StarCraft 2. You have Hearthstone, which is like kind of a playoff of Magic the Gathering.
So their mobile game.
Yeah, they kind of brought out like cards, and you could do the same thing, but it's all digital, right? So it's like you are actually in a game playing somebody else with your cards. It's kind of like Magic, just not in person.
Right.
Heroes of the Storm.
So yeah, so now you have your MOBA.
They have MTG Arena right now.
Yep. So now you have your MOBA, which is Heroes of the Storm. So anyone who's never played a MOBA, what's it called? A multi-online battle arena. I think that's what MOBA stands for.
Yes.
It's kind of like, their version of that. I don't think it's popular because it has all the Blizzard characters. So it's kind of fun to play all those little characters there. And then one of my favorites, I think I played originally was Diablo.
Diablo 1 and 2 are easily some of the games I played. I sunk a shit ton of hours into. Addictive, very addictive, and that was fun at first because it's kind of like a solo game, but it was like devil imagery and but it's very cool because you were building your own character from the ground up. You were able to like go through like the story, and the story was amazing, and so were the creatures you fought.
Mm-hmm. And then
Diablo 3 came out to kind of mixed reviews. When you say, Sweeney, I mean, because they had like the game itself was amazing, but there's a lot of things about that piss people off, like real money auction house.
Right. That was Blizzard tried to do what they did with World of Warcraft, which they brought in an auction house in World of Warcraft, right? But that was in-game currency cost, right? It was never like real money. So in Blizzard and Diablo, money was ridiculous. You'd have millions of gold within minutes. Like it never really served a purpose that was outside of repairs or leveling up to learn how to build new things. They really had no bearing on the game whatsoever. So they thought, well, if we're gonna put an auction house in, we have to make it meaningful. So they tried to make people spend real money on objects. So people are going out and farming like rare things and charging stupid amounts of money, like stupid amounts of money for and people would buy it, like thousands of dollars for a game item. You got problems, man.
Suckers.
You got problems. So the Blizzard did away with that. They're like, no, that's stupid. We're not going to do that.
And now Diablo 3 is probably one of the better like Blizzard games out there. But I think we're also kind of missing one of like the top, like the Blizzard's, other than World of Warcraft, of course, Blizzard's other big money maker, which is Overwatch.
Yes. So Overwatch as well came out. First person shooter. It kind of has a MOBA feel a little bit.
It's an FPS MOBA hybrid easily.
Yeah. So you have your characters, your heroes, you pick, you go in, you fight their team for objectives for the game, kind of thing. So Blizzard's been around a long time and they've done very well for themselves. I mean, I think at one point at its peak, World of Warcraft had over 13 million subscribers. And imagine that, 13 million times about what, $15 a month?
I was one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and then now you've got like now they're making shit tons of money hands over fist on like costumes and Overwatch. Like the cool thing about Blizzard is they've been around for so long and they've had their feet dipped into like so many different genres that they've really solidified themselves as like one of the greatest gaming companies out there. I mean, they can do just about anything and it'll probably be a success.
They do it well. They are a very good company to work for, which is why I wanted to work for them. Their campus is amazing. If you want to see giant statues of like, Tyrael, if you want to see giant statues of Hellscream, like all these giant, amazing statues. Oh, it's like a geek's paradise.
They've got like the sci-fi, they've got the fantasy, they've got like the biblical imagery all down to a science. But yeah, but the reason we're here is because they became so big that they made their own convention for them. Like, we don't need to go to like San Diego Comic-Con or insert gaming convention here or BlizzCon. We have our own convention, and that's BlizzCon 2018. Yep.
Yeah. So just to get like Phil said, it was just this past weekend, right? I think so. Yeah. So they always have announcements for new games coming up, new characters, new, kind of how every convention does it, right? I think personally this year, the announcements were a little lackluster. That's kind of been the feeling throughout the geek community, has been that BlizzCon kind of shit the bed a little bit. Simply because, well, we'll dive right into it, right? Okay, so one of their big announcements that's been driven a lot of controversy because people are like, you're just giving us a reskin of a game we've already played, which is Diablo Immortal. So Diablo Immortal is Blizzard's foray into the mobile gaming community, right?
After
so
Hearthstone.
They have Hearthstone, which is kind of like just a card game. This is their true like RPG. You've all played those mobile games, right? Like, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. I don't really think of one because I don't play them. They're stupid. But it's you on your phone, RPG, Diablo style. People are complaining because it's a reskin. They're stating the story takes place between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But it's simply just a reskin.
Right.
You have all the same characters you've always played. You have the Barbarian, you have the Demon Hunter, you have the Crusader,
Witch Doctor.
Thank you. Witch Doctor, Monk. Like, you have all the same basic characters you've had since the beginning. You have the Necromancer, which didn't come out until 3. But yeah, it's simply just a reskin on a mobile platform.
Meh. I mean, I love Diablo, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to play it on mobile.
Well, and the fact that Diablo 3 is still available on PS4 or Xbox, whatever you play, and it's still so good. Like, they bring out seasons. They do like season stuff. They have like actual, like, you can still continue to play and it's still relevant. Why would I give up that to go mobile?
Honestly, though, I mean, I have one of every class in Diablo 3, and I'm on Torment 13 with all of them. And there's nothing left for me to really do unless they increase the difficulty or add new gear.
Yep, which they do. Some seasons they do add new stuff here and there. But that was the rumor that they were going to announce Diablo 4 at this BlizzCon. They didn't.
Well, I mean, you can't win them all. I mean, like I said, like BlizzCon has been pretty awesome for a good couple of years now, but you're going to run out of steam and you're going to drop something. But there were some cool announcements this year, stuff that I'm pretty psyched about.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for example, Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Yep. Yeah.
That is, I mean, so we were talking about their real-time strategy. Yes, it's the same game. It's Warcraft 3, but they've said they're, updating the graphics, they're adding some new content, and they're adding social aspects to Warcraft 3.
Yep.
So if they're making it so that I can like go on and play it on my console with my friends and like play against you or play with you for that matter, that's kind of fun. That'd be kind of cool. I would enjoy that, like going back to Warcraft 3. Now, is Reforged including the expansions for Warcraft 3? Or
no,
is it just...
so those will probably come eventually. I'd imagine they're probably gonna do the same thing. But I think the biggest draw to this is, yes, like you said, updated graphics, updated social aspect. You also have the remastered and updated 4 hours, I believe it's 4 hours of additional cutscenes and voiceovers. They got new people to come in and do voices and stuff like that. So you'll have new story to have inside of Warcraft 3.
That's what Blizzard does really well, is cutscenes. You really make me want to watch that CG movie, buddy. It's so good.
I think what you mentioned on is the real-time strategy. They are putting in a new world editor inside of here, so you actually can build your own like maps for your real-time strategy if you play against other people.
That sounds tense. I really would love to do that.
So I think that's the biggest draw to me is I love real-time strategy, and I don't play StarCraft as much because when you play StarCraft online, you run into a lot of people that are really, 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 really freaking good, and it's just not fun. Like, I'm a casual StarCraft player, so if I like hop in, I'm dead within 3 minutes because people can just rush, and it's just ridiculous.
Zerg rush script kiddies.
That's probably my least favorite Blizzard game.
StarCraft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I just never got into
it's a real-time strategy. It's just, not for everybody.
No.
Even a lot of these games are, that's the cool thing about Blizzard, though. Like, not every game is for somebody, but there is a game out there for you.
I like the Warcraft setting. Like, I've always liked that medieval knights, castles, magic.
Giant shoulder pads.
Yeah. So StarCraft was just a little, I was like, yeah, it's cool. I'm going back to Warcraft.
But it was alien. It was alien, futuristic. You had your you had your Terran, I think it was, which was like the human, Starship Trooper. That's why I related to them too. Then you had the Zerg, which was what Starship Troopers fought.
Bugs.
You had your what were they? Oh shoot! Must construct more pylons. Anyway, but I understand. I mean, you have Warcraft, which is the same thing.
It's not a bad game,
right?
It just wasn't my cup of tea,
right?
World of Warcraft, though, different than a real-time strategy, an MMORPG. How many? I mean, what expansion are they on currently? We had Burning Crusade was the first one, which was demons.
Yep.
Then Wrath of the Lich King, which was the second one, which was the Frozen North and the final battle against Arthas.
Yeah.
Ice Crown, which I consider the end of the plot.
It is.
And then you had the third one, which was against Deathwing.
Yeah, Deathwing.
What was the name? What was the name of that expansion? Cataclysm, which was like the apocalypse.
Yeah, it changed the world.
Yeah, sure did. Good job.
Yeah.
And then you had like the next one, which was the one with the panda bears.
Mist of Pandaria.
And I was like, fuck you, you're throwing furries in this game? We're done.
Well, the long running joke was that the Pandarian had existed since Worldcraft 2, I think. They've existed. But everyone always was like, why don't you ever bring them into the game? Why don't you ever bring them into the game? Like, they want to play a panda. So they finally they peddled a little bit to their audience. Like, fine, we'll build out a Mist of Pandaria and you will bring in the pandas, which come in because they're happen to be right on the back of a giant sea turtle that crashes. So it's fine. And then they went through the Illidan Stormrage story. But it's the next expansion after that.
Wait, Illidan Stormrage was in Burning Crusade.
Yeah, so they actually did the full life cycle of Illidan. Like, it was like from birth until the end.
Okay.
Yeah, so they kind of rehashed a lot of those demon kind of aspects, but you actually could play a demon hunter as a class. Or whatever. Yeah, demon hunter. He's a demon hunter, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a demon hunter. Jesus
you actually can play they're a playable class. What was the name of that expansion?
Exactly.
Let's do it again. So that is my biggest gripe with Blizzard. Great company, great games, amazing. I've spent so much time, money, and my life into them, but rehashing in World of Warcraft, redoing Warcraft 3 now, redoing Diablo into a mobile, it's just, I get it. You want to keep going with what's making you the money. So, give me something new.
But look at Overwatch, though, Andy. Overwatch is a totally new property.
It is, and that is what I'm currently playing still.
So I missed one. I'm sorry. Warlords of Draenor came out as well. So that was kind of like the Draenor are a subspecies of orc that kind of came into play. So you had them as well. And then Legion is the name of the Illidan Stormrage expansion.
Wasn't there another one where, like, I don't know.
That's it.
Angry. No, there's another one coming out. There's a new one.
Oh, they just brought out the Battle for Azeroth, which
the end.
What's her face? Sylvanas and kind of goes rogue against the Horde and pretty much just decides she wants to burn it all down. She actually burns down the world tree.
Neat. Okay.
Burn it down.
Are they going to finally end the world of Warcraft?
Well, in this BlizzCon, there was no new announcements for anything to do with World of Warcraft.
Can we finally get World of StarCraft?
That would be amazing. I would play the shit out of that game. Oh my god. So on to more announcements. We mentioned Hearthstone, right? So Rasta Khan, and that's his name. Rasta Khan's Rumble is a new expansion for Hearthstone. So essentially, you're pretty much going to go to the Gurubashi arena. I know you guys remember Gurubashi.
I sure do. I'm sad that I do, but I do.
It's not Oingo Boingo. Sorry, Andy.
It's way north of Oingo Boingo Crater on a different continent.
Whole new continent.
So Hearthstone expansions don't really mean much. It's just they add a new boss. Like you kind of play through each World of Warcraft like area through card levels. So you fight the bosses. Like they had Naxxramas for a while, so you have to fight like the different bosses of Naxxramas through cards. Like you battle with cards. That's all the expansions for Hearthstone are. I played Hearthstone. It's not really worth. It's free to play. So I mean,
I want to beat you up just by talking about this.
Me too. I want to take your lunch money and dip your head in the toilet.
I'm a geek, and now
you guys
like,
played Magic. Come on.
I did not.
Whoa. You don't publicly tell people.
You played Phil. I know you played Magic.
I did not.
You shut your fucking
I know
mouth.
Tim played
Sweeney.
Magic.
I did not.
You
For
shut
like 2
your
months,
filthy, backstabbing mouth, you son of a bitch.
I played Magic. I mean, I did. I'll admit it. I don't care.
Maybe when I was in middle school. I have not played it as an adult because I am cool and like ladies.
And we played Hero Clicks.
Shut your mouth. God damn it. Well, now I'm not cool
figures with
anymore.
my cards.
Okay, so we'll just glaze over that one because no one really cares about Hearthstone.
Nobody cares about Hearthstone. Next.
So the big
Hateful.
Hateful.
So the big one, we mentioned Overwatch. We all play Overwatch, and what they like to do with Overwatch is bring out new characters, new heroes to play. The latest one was Bridget, right? So Bridget, they brought her out. The next one is Ashe.
No. Hamster Ball came after.
Oh, that's right. Not Hamtaro.
Wrecking Ball.
I call him Hamtaro. Thank you, Wrecking Ball.
It's not Winston because that's the gorilla. It's
Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball.
it's called Wrecking Ball, but trying to remember the name of the actual hamster.
I said Hamtaro.
Hammond.
Yeah, it's Hammond.
Is it
Thank
Hammond?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
that's terrible. Blizzard, come on.
I call him
Hammond,
Hamtaro
the
because he's
hamster.
basically an adorable little hamster in a gigantic robotic wrecking ball.
It is. But their new character is Ashe, who she kind of is the female version of McCree.
Who's a cowboy with a pistol.
Cowboy. Yeah, McCree's a cowboy with a pistol. She's a cowboy. She's a gang leader. She has a rifle and a shotgun.
A bolt action rifle and what do they call it when you ride shotgun? A stagecoach gun?
Yeah, stagecoach gun. And she also has a giant robot friend that
named Bob. Stands for Big Omnic Badass.
So we know, whatever. But I'm excited to just play her because I like to bring in new characters. I like to see what they do and what they can add. Based upon her play video, she looks amazing.
She looks like a cross between Widowmaker and McCree, basically. Mm-hmm. Like right. She has that long range rifle ability where she can ADS down the sights of her gun, but she can also rapid fire that at close range, and she can toss out dynamite and then shoot the dynamite midair, which explodes on people and lights them on fire. And her stagecoach shotgun actually is a mobility because it knocks her back, but if you hit another person, it knocks them back also.
And you also can launch yourself in the air with it. She has. I feel like she's going to play a little bit like a McCree Doomfist. I kind of see that mobility with more damage output like McCree has. So I'm excited to play her. I'll see what she can do.
She looks right up my alley. I'm a very attack character based. Attacks and tanks are my.
It's been a while since we got a new true attack character.
I love this game mostly because it allows me to play with you guys.
Yeah.
In a strategic setting. It's fun and we work together as a group and we all get to play our own little niche and we have fun. And I mean, we don't always win because they're not the greatest. I mean, let's be honest. but we win sometimes when it feels really good when you do. And we're not. I'd say we're like high gold platinum characters. I hit diamond once, but I barely hit diamond, and then I quit playing so I could stay there and get my money. But I think I'm a platinum. I think we're all mid to low platinum players.
Essentially, we have fun with it. We're not out there trying to be in the World Cup or anything. So, which was again this weekend as well.
Ugh.
Which United States was out in the first round. So
of course they were.
We're
not allowed to use Adderall, so we're going to lose.
But yeah, so I'm excited for her. I want to see what Bob can do. Bob looks fun.
Bob is like a mobile bastion.
Yeah, it is.
That is a sentry gun robot for those. He literally has a Gatling gun for a dick.
Nice. All right. So the next announcement they had for Heroes of the Storm, they actually brought out a new character for them as well. This is the first character that's actually a native of the Nexus, which the Nexus is where this takes place. It's like the arena. It's called the Nexus. So if anyone's, I don't know if you guys might even know this. I know this, but if anyone's ever played inside Heroes of the Storm, there's a map and there's a lord or a boss you can use against the enemy. It's called the Raven Lord. And essentially, if you control the towers of the Raven Lord, he sends ravens to attack the other team's walls and structures and things like that.
I have a confession, Sweeney. The only Heroes of the Storm I ever played was the 10 games required of me to get the Oni skin for Genji and
Right.
play in Overwatch.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I figured. But
And then I deleted it.
it's another
Why?
free to play game. I played it. But yes, that's the Raven Lord. This character, her name is I believe her name is Orphea, which just sounds weird anyway. But she is a native of the Nexus. She's the daughter of the Raven Lord. That's the new character they brought out. So not a character that's in any other games, which is what they usually do with Heroes of the Storm. This is just a random character that's never been seen before.
Well, at least they did something original. Like, good for you. Good on you for expanding your horizons, Blizzard.
Right.
Because as Andy said, they got that nostalgia boner hard for all their games.
They do. They love, and again, that's my next couple announcements here are nostalgia boners, right?
Get a whole room of nostalgia boners.
So they're actually going to get, if you attended the BlizzCon this year, you actually got access to play this. And I don't know if they're going to open it. They'll probably open it up for everybody. But it's actually a World of Warcraft classic. So they're bringing back Vanilla WoW.
The thing Andy quit.
Right.
All right, cool.
So Josh, who was on our episode or on our cast very early, I was talking to him because he got the virtual ticket. So he got to go in and play the classic. And he was like, why did anybody ever play this? It was, you're fighting for spawns.
Yep.
It's just bad.
Yep. It wasn't bad. It's just,
Vanilla WoW
It's
was
just you're
cutthroat.
now
you're spoiled.
you're used to current WoW.
You're spoiled now in WoW. Like
Yeah.
it's nothing like it used to
WoW
be.
now is like whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
It is easy
Click this
mode.
ability.
It
Click
is.
this ability.
When WoW, and I don't like to say this term, but when WoW first came out, it was for the elitists. It was for the guys who wanted to be the best of the best, and you had to work for it.
I remember being up till 5 a.m, 40-man molten core raids. And then you understand in a 40-man raid, you are fighting with other people of your own class. So you've got like your tank squad, you've got your healer squad, you got your massive amount of DPS.
Yeah.
And every time you drop a boss, there is a set amount of gear that drops. And let's say there could be one rogue, like one dagger dropped, one awesome rogue dagger dropped. There are 6 rogues in this raid. You got to roll against your own guildmates. It became like you were working as a team, but you secretly hated everybody that did the same job as you. And by the time you were done raiding, you'd be so pissed off because somebody beat you on a roll and you didn't get it. And even chicken tenders at IHOP at 4 a.m. weren't enough to make you want to like the people across the table from you. You just wanted to fucking stab somebody with a goddamn straw.
Yeah, and this was it was like a whole hierarchy too, because you had your raid leader.
Rogue leader.
Rogue leader.
Rogue leader.
You had your raid leader who would set the loot so only he could pick it up. And sometimes you got into raids with douchebag raid leaders that had promised gear to people that were in the raid, and so you didn't get to roll on it. And you're like, no, fuck that, I'm out. It was a whole society. It was bad.
And then you had dragon kill point system, the DKP system.
Yes. Oh
where
my
you got
God.
every time you showed up for a raid, you got a certain amount of DKP points, and you could use that to bid to roll on an item in the guild. You got the 40-man raids in Vanilla WoW. As you said, they murdered casual gaming.
They did.
And then when Blizzard saw that the Andes of the gaming world were like, I don't want to play this anymore. I got shit to do. I got a baby to feed. I got a wife to fuck. I don't have time for this shit. So what do? They're like, all right, everybody, raids are now 15 people and 40 billion things drop, and have fun, kids.
Right.
and all the boss encounters are streamlined, easy AF.
Yeah, they changed it now. So when you defeat a boss, you have a personal roll chance for it to drop something for you instead of rolling against everybody else.
Not that I'm against that. I think if you're playing, you should be rewarded for playing.
Right.
But at the same time, fucking noobs, scrub ass motherfuckers.
Think about this. I think this is the biggest reason why Blizzard did this was back in the day. If you in Vanilla WoW, if you had a max level character that had a max level gear, you could sell your account for thousands of dollars.
I did.
Thousands.
I sold Shank McGank.
Yeah.
I sold him, and then I stole him back by doing a password reset. I'm a dick.
But yes, I think that was the biggest driver for Blizzard to adjust their.
No, I didn't mind the change to the looting system and all that. What I hated was when I went back for Deathwing, and I was like, okay, if I want to tank, my defense has to be 206. I have
Right.
you knew that you had to do research to get your stats to a specific level. You had to know in what order to use what abilities at what time. And I can log in and my ability bar just starts lighting up. And I'm like, what's going on? It's like, oh, that just means click it now. What?
It was whack-a-mole, bro.
Yeah.
The game is telling me, here's how you play your character.
And they did that because people came out with so many add-ons that did that for you anyway, that Blizzard thought, why the hell aren't we just putting that in the game?
Yep. And then also all the cool add-ons that like told you where your quest giver was and put it on your map.
Yeah.
All these things that were fan-driven became in part of the actual user interface.
Yep.
Like Blizzard, like I hope that they compensated the people that but then again, maybe they didn't have to.
They didn't have to because it was open source, so they just would do it themselves. But I think Blizzard also paid a lot of homage to their fan base as well. You know, I mean, everyone knows Leroy Jenkins. I think if you haven't even played World of Warcraft, know what it is, you heard the video of Leroy Jenkins. Like everyone knew what that was. Now there was a trophy for Leroy Jenkins. There was a character called Leroy Jenkins. They like put that stuff in the game. For PvP, there was the axe of Rommel something whatever. It was actually the best warrior Tauren in the game that won. Who was the best PvP? They named a weapon after him in the game. Like a lot of that stuff, like they actually paid really good homage to their fans. And you're right, they kind of pandered to the casual. But I think they saw the end coming after Frozen Throne. They knew they weren't going to top that anymore.
I think it was right before Wrath came out. I was a Ret Paladin.
Oh, they were broken.
Yeah. I remember soloing Alterac Valley.
Oh God,
we would have.
I hated Ret Pallies because they would just go in and hit Divine Storm and done.
Suck my balls.
During Next Ramus, you and I had our DPS counters up because you were a paladin and I was a dual wield Frost Death Knight that was super broken when that came out, and we obliterated everyone else in our guild.
Our guild was so salty balls that a Ret Paladin was top DPS in our guild.
Oh, it was so
fucking
not
Fire
even
Mage.
Not even close.
When Death Knights first came out, they were broken as fuck. You could literally, as Death Knight, go into any PvP match and you just win. There's just nothing you could do. Like, we win. I win. I can not only can I heal myself, I can absorb all the things you can do, and I can stun you and kill you. Okay.
And send dead zombies at you, and yeah. It was
good memories,
awesome.
Good times. I spent a long time playing that game. I had a lot of good friends. And people I knew in real life. Don't anyone out there listening know these were not only internet. Like I'm looking at two of my like longtime World of Warcraft buddies right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Tim.
Meh.
We'll get you to play.
No,
but
we're not. No, it's too late. That
it's
ship
too
is
late.
sailed.
Now I don't even get back into it because it's so different.
I mean, I'm just going to look at it and just go like, nah, because like it's just never, that type of game has never been the type of game that I get into. Never has been. Yeah,
you're more of like a, what do you call it? A dating sim kind of guy? The Japanese dating sim. Oh,
exactly.
Notice me, senpai.
Yeah. How did you know? Mine's just the single player and sport games and stuff like that.
So we kind of touched on every net, and this is why I say it's lackluster. That's every major announcement, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's it. Like not anything brand new, exciting game like out there. And some of the things are fun and cool, and I appreciate what they did. One other thing they did do is Blizzard has partnered with Bungie. They brought Destiny to the PC through, to Blizzard's Battle.net software. So one thing they are doing is if you have never played Battle.net, you never had a Battle.net account, if you now create a Battle.net account, you get Destiny 2 for free. So that's the last announcement.
Yeah, but the reason you get Destiny 2 for free is because it's donkey shit.
Yes.
Right. So that's, for those of you who don't know Destiny, I don't know how you wouldn't know Destiny, but
please don't.
The original Destiny we all played. I don't know if Tim played. You're not really a first person shooter guy either. No. Okay. Are you a nerd? Oh, that's right.
Yes.
You're a comic nerd. I forgot.
Yes.
So Destiny was a first-person shooter, MMO. I guess first person.
We did an episode about Destiny too. So it was like one of our really earlier episodes. We did a review, and at the time, it seemed good.
It did.
And then once again, Bungie falls into their bullshit, like nickel and diming, withholding content, garbage ass business practices. And once again, I had to say, fuck you, Destiny, and walked away. Like, and I will not be going back. I got a new phone today. I reinstalled all my apps. I intentionally did not install my Destiny apps because fuck them.
Yeah. So I think the latest Destiny expansion is Forsaken.
It can go fuck itself is what it can do. Like there's no plot anymore. It's the same shit, and it's not fun. And they're half the time they do release new content, it's something that's already been in the game that they withheld so they could make an expansion later.
Right.
And half the expansions are like 2 hours of content. You're spending like $25 to $40 for this shit. And then they got all the goddamn buying silver in game. Like Destiny sucks. Blizzard, every game, even Hearthstone is better than Destiny.
True.
I've been there. I went there. Fuck you, Destiny. Broke my heart. You broke my heart. You betrayed me. You stabbed me in the back and the penis multiple times. And I was a hardcore I mean, all of us were pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, we all played the original. I mean, hell, I still have the white ice or PS4.
That's my
special
PS4
edition,
also. God
console. We all play Destiny. We all beat Destiny. I mean, play Destiny 2. We all played Destiny 2 for a little bit.
I played up until the Warmind expansion, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore because I knew for a fact that Warmind expansion was cut content from Destiny 1.
Right.
And then, like, of course, God bless you, Reddit. People on Reddit did diving, and they proved that Warmind was cut content from Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Intentionally cut so they could sell it as an expansion pack later. Fuck that. That's just bad. That is betrayal business practice. That's Activision level.
It is.
That is EA business practice.
Yeah, they thought they could do that and make more money later, so they wouldn't have to blow their load all at once. And it turned off a lot of people. It really did. It ruined their fan base. Bungie has been a good company. I mean, Bungie brought Halo. I mean, Halo series has been out for fucking ever.
Makes me sad that Blizzard's getting in bed with them, like from even use a Battle.net perspective, because Blizzard's better than that.
They only did it.
Like Andy was saying, like we still play Overwatch. How long has Overwatch been out for? A long fucking time, like at least several years.
Yeah, a few years now.
I think it's the 6th or 7th.
We were playing last night, and have you played the Total Mayhem mode this week yet?
No, I have a baby. Do I look like I'm allowed to get on my PlayStation right now? No, I have to be up and I have to help feed a child. Do you know what happened? You know what happens when I say, "Hey, honey, do you mind if I go play video games for an hour?" She literally holds the baby up like fucking Simba and like holds it in front of me and goes, "We need you." I'm like, how do I say no to that?
Baby is sleeping. I'm going to go downstairs.
But then it's time for me to be with my wife who pushed a baby out of her. And let me tell you something. I have a brand new appreciation for that. So yeah, no, my gaming time has been cut severely by like 98%. And when I do get it, I appreciate it. But I also, when you guys log in, I need a text so that I can do the like, oh, look, my friends are playing. I don't have friends anymore because I'm a father. So you have to let me play games.
He just came over last night and we just passed the controller back and forth like the old school days.
That sounds fun, man. That sounds like the old days. I miss those days.
But yeah, so the only reason Blizzard got in bed with Bungie was simply because Bungie didn't have a platform to do PC and they wanted to push into that foray. So Blizzard, of course, sold them their proprietary Battle.net software and allowed that partnership to happen.
Fair enough. I mean, I get it. I mean, anything to make an extra buck and bring a game to more people.
But that's the announcements. That's BlizzCon 2018. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I would there was rumored to be a brand new game that Blizzard had that was like a leak of a code name for the game. And everyone thought it was going to be some brand new, Diablo 4 or some new World of Warcraft or some new StarCraft, something. And it ended up being World of Warcraft 3 remastered. And it was like,
I mean, they can't do a Warcraft 4 because World of Warcraft and its 50 fucking expansions are Warcraft 4.
Yeah.
So there's no point in doing another real-time strategy-based thing that tries to expand that story. The story is being expanded already. Go play that MMO. You're done.
Yeah, and I think their latest, the Battle for Azeroth, has even within that has additional content coming out. So
you might get like a StarCraft 3, maybe a
StarCraft 3, or give me StarCraft World or something like else.
I would play World of StarCraft
or a Diablo World of Warcraft, like a Diablo style.
I'd play the shit out of that.
So there's that too. But we didn't get any of that, which I'm excited for Warcraft 3 remastered because again, it's my childhood a little bit. I love that game. It's not going to keep my attention for probably more than an hour at a time.
I'm going to play it and finish it, and then I'm going to be done with it, like I am every other game. I'm going to like bang it and throw it to the side.
So, I mean, Phil, for you, like, what's your favorite announcement? Like, what's your like? Yes, thank you.
I'm really excited about the new character for Overwatch, Ashe. The video. Okay, we've said it before, but Blizzard makes really awesome cutscenes. They do CG videos really well. So every time they announce a new character, they have a new movie, like a mini movie they play. And this one was about McCree and Ashe, and like a reunion of sorts. And it was awesome introducing the character. I like her style. I love playing McCree. I'm just not very good with McCree.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're a controller player, playing with McCree is difficult. McCree is definitely a keyboard and mouse character.
I mean, he's a mobile sniper. And it's difficult.
But this is a character that actually has ADS rifle, and you got the grenades, and you have the shotgun. So it's something I feel like I can be a little bit more mobile with, and I don't really need keyboard and mouse. So I'm excited for Ashe and Bab. But that video, at the very end of the video that introduces Ashe, they open up like a canister, and spoiler alert, McCree reveals another robot, like a white and blue robot, which is the voice of the Overwatch world. Like she does the countdowns, or she says like, you know, like this objective is being taken. She's like the announcer, and it's Echo. She's Echo. And she's the next place. She's hero 30. She's going to be the next hero that comes out.
Huh. Cool.
Which I thought was pretty cool. Like the Overwatch is interesting because it has a story, but it's like a puzzle you're putting together as each character comes out and more content gets revealed.
And it has like that story aspect for those people that want to pursue that, like you or me, that like actually like to dive in the story. But it's also a very casual game, like for Andy or Tim, that can dive right in and not really care about the story. Yeah, but he wouldn't, like, he could dive in and play a first person shooter if he ever wanted to, and wouldn't have to know the story to play the game. Yeah. It's just literally learn the character you want to play and play.
I mean, Tim, you're like a big NBA 2K guy, right?
I mean, I play that, yeah.
NFL 2K, like any other like 2Ks?
I don't really buy Madden.
Yeah, no, Tim's more like the Assassin's Creed,
the Tomb Raider, Spider-Man. It's first person, or not first person, but single player games. A lot of that.
So you're like a single player sandbox guy.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're like just finger fucking the shit out of Red Dead Redemption 2 right now.
I actually, because of random bills that have come up, like getting my furnace fixed, I have not purchased it yet.
You broke ass motherfucker! Can't play your cowboy game.
I don't have it yet either.
But that is my plan. At this point, I'm just waiting until Christmas for Red Dead 2.
Yeah, I figured that would be your kind of game. I mean, it falls in that genre.
GTA.
I can't wait for Red Dead 2 to play it.
Couldn't get into Grand Theft Auto. Something about banging hookers all the time. I don't know, is there another thing to do in that game?
Kill people.
Yeah.
No. Go to strip club.
What'd you say?
Doing all the heists.
Oh, that's right. The new one they had brought the heist
with Sean and a couple other buddies. And
nope. I'm just gonna go steal a plane and land on top of the strip club. I'm done.
I do it.
I won Grand Theft Auto. I win.
You do you.
I win.
So, I believe Sweeney, you are up for our
Hateful Grateful.
We still haven't got a new theme yet. You fucking slacking listeners.
Andy's calling out our listeners. Yes, we have submitted a request once again for a fan made or fan submitted Hateful Grateful theme song. Hateful Grateful.
I'm very close to making just a lounge jazz version of it that y'all are gonna hate.
I love it. Do it.
Hateful,
you play your
hateful or grateful.
That's literally copyright infringement.
Yeah,
grateful.
Nope,
it's usually hateful.
Shit. But yeah, we're looking for some kind of theme to replace Hateful Grateful. But this week it is Sweeney.
It is my turn, and I did something we haven't been able to do in a while, and I kept this non-Marvel or DC for all of them.
God.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me when saying that.
Andy, hateful. All right, so the very first one, which I kind of felt appropriate because we kind of mentioned in our post this week about an AMC spoiler for what's going to happen with The Walking Dead. So the the great show. I love this show, Breaking Bad. I'm sure we've all watched Breaking Bad. Have we all?
Yes. And Better
My
Call
wife's
Saul.
from Albuquerque, New Mexico, where the show was filmed, and I tried to show it to her. She couldn't get past season 3.
But I love that show. I thought it was a great show. I didn't watch Better Call Saul, but
Better Call Saul's great.
So there is a new film in the works that's going to be a Breaking Bad film, and it's going to be a sequel to the series, and it's going to follow the life of Jesse Pinkman.
It's going to follow Jesse after the show.
So it's going to follow Jesse Pinkman's character, which is Aaron Paul, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Paul's character, Jesse Pinkman, after the show ended.
I'm out. Hateful.
Yo, dog, that sounds terrible, bitch.
Yeah. Just like Better Call Saul is great as a prequel series, but like I don't need a sequel, or I don't need the continuation of Jesse Pinkman after
Hateful.
after Breaking Bad.
And the reason I brought this up is because that's kind of what they're doing with The Walking Dead as well. Lincoln, Andrew Lincoln's character. I'm not going to say what happened, Rick, in the last episode, because people are already mad at me that I told them this is happening, even though they announced it.
Like literally after the episode went off
they
the
announced
air.
it. And they're like, you don't have to write. They can do that. Like, fuck you. They said it. I can say it. I'm not going to tell you what happened in the episode, but there's new film coming out that's going to follow Rick's character 10 years or whatever after.
Rick didn't die. Get the fuck over it.
Right.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I
He
guess
spoiled
that's
it.
good, I guess.
He spoiled it. I wasn't going to. But so that's why I thought I brought another AMC property, with Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'll maybe watch the Rick Grimes movies, but I'm not gonna. I don't need a continuation of Breaking Bad. It was perfect where it ended off.
Yeah, I agree with Tim. The end of Breaking Bad is the end.
It is.
Nobody cares about Jesse Pinkman after that point. Jesse, well, great in the show, is not the main focus. And the cool thing about Breaking Bad is it has a huge commentary on our current American pharmaceutical situation.
Yeah.
A guy has to fucking cook and sell meth so he can pay his cancer bill.
Yep.
Like, if that's not America, I don't know what is.
Yeah, so I think we're all hateful for this.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hateful.
Yeah.
Next. All right. In another realm of we don't know how to make original content anymore, the creators of the Despicable Me are rehashing Shrek.
Wait, like they're rebooting
They're
Shrek?
rebooting Shrek.
It's not going to be Shrek 5. He finally dies of diabetes.
This is going to be Shrek again. But
Shrek
by the
that.
guys who made Despicable Me.
Is Michael Myers coming back?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I like Illumination Studios. It's just that I don't like Shrek.
I get why Shrek was popular, but it was literally Michael Myers doing his fat bastard impression with a green CG.
Donkey!
It was not. I don't know. As an adult, I did not enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, I've never seen anything past the first one because there's 4 movies and then like Puss in Boots has 2 movies.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, Puss in Boots will be in this.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, he'll be in this.
Fucking
Andy, you had a kid who was like alive during when Shrek was he a Shrek fan when he was a kid?
He was too young.
Too young for Shrek?
When Shrek,
How the fuck were you too young for
once
Shrek?
he was old enough for Shrek, Shrek was then.
There were like 5 Shrek movies. Like,
yeah, nobody.
Did you put your kid in a cryo chamber?
Nobody, I'm not showing him Shrek.
You just like I'm going to shield my child from
One viewing
Shrek.
of it myself was enough.
Well,
and I was like, all right.
Yeah,
I like Shrek.
Because how old is he? How old
He's
is
12.
So yeah, I mean, he wasn't even born when the first 2 came out.
Yeah, I like the original Shrek. It was fun. They had a good play on a lot of like the old Brothers Grimm fairy tales kind of thing. It was a fun concept.
It is a constant reminder of Eddie Murphy selling out to me. It is constantly a reminder of Eddie Murphy's selling out.
I will take Shrek over Despicable Me anytime, though. Watch Minions.
I'm gonna
The
have to disagree with you on that.
commercialization of Minions has just, I can't watch it. I can't watch it
But the
anymore.
original Despicable Me was good.
It was good when it came out, but the commercialization of the Minions has just completely ruined it.
I didn't ruin it for me.
Yeah, it didn't ruin it for me. Like I think that Despicable Me is a bit funnier than Shrek, but we're talking about 2 kid franchises. So
I actually like the third Despicable Me because Trey Parker does the voice of the guy, and it's actually kind of fun.
I haven't seen it yet.
Like I tried watching Megamind.
I like Megamind. It was okay.
I love Will Ferrell too.
It wasn't good, but it was okay.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
Hateful.
I mean, Will Ferrell just annoys me in general as it is.
Hey, you shut your goddamn mouth, Tim. Will Ferrell is a god.
Triggered.
You ever seen Step Brothers? You want to go to the garage and do karate?
Yep.
No, because we're not best friends.
Okay. I like Will Ferrell in certain things, and it's like Step Brothers, Anchorman, and Talladega Nights. The rest is
other guys.
SNL.
Nah.
What about some of his serious shit, like Stranger Than Fiction, which is an excellent film?
I don't think I've actually seen it.
Okay, so you have no frame of reference then.
Okay, wow, I haven't seen one movie in his catalog. All right.
All right, back to Shrek. Hateful,
no,
grateful.
Not back to Shrek, please.
Hateful. Tim says hateful. Phil's hateful.
Hateful.
Andy's hateful.
We're all hateful.
Like we said, mostly hateful. All right. The last one I did dive into Marvel because, well, we tend to always want to do something with them.
Just do it.
So Marvel is getting ready to start production next year on the Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
On the Eternals? The Eternals?
Yeah, Eternals.
The Eternals.
That's etarded.
I mean, sure, I guess. I've never been a fan of the Eternals.
So Tim, I don't know, Tim or Phil, whoever wants to do this.
I'll let Tim take this one. Feel free,
Can you
buddy.
describe the Eternals for maybe our more non-comic?
I don't really know a whole lot about the Eternals, if I'm being honest. Like, they're like the first, like,
there's a
race
reason why.
before, yeah.
All right, so the Eternals in the Marvel universe are basically, think of it like they're like the Celestials. Like the Eternals were like the very first beings. Think of them like living humanoid versions of which is sad because Marvel already has the Infinity Stones, but they basically like created life. Like for example, we're aware of the Secret Wars mini shit where with God Doom. So Doom tricks the Eternals out of their power to basically gain the ability to reshape reality himself, also using Molecule Man in some weird perverted way. But the premise is they're basically the energy that created life. They are like the spark that made the Big Bang.
Yeah.
So
they're almost like Marvel's version of like the New Gods, kind of.
Pretty much.
So like, I don't know. Maybe there's a different name for him. Was it like the Collector? Was he an Eternal, or is that like
He's a Celestial?
He's a Celestial. Okay, thank you. There's that whole terminology.
Celestials are like one tier below Eternal.
Okay.
Like Eternals are like, they're eternal. And then Celestials are like gigantic space, like Cthulhu-esque massive power beings.
So you got like, so the Celestials are like the Collector and Ego and Grandmaster. And I think for a while, they almost considered Galactus as one.
Death is a Celestial also.
Yeah, Death. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going one step above them now to the Eternals.
Basically, they created the Celestials. They're that badass.
Yeah.
And when they just if a universe in the Marvel universe gets snuffed out, it's typically because the Eternals said, "Fuck it, we're done."
So you have Marvel's doing this whole thing coming to an end right with Avengers 4, and then looks like they're diving into the Eternals.
Yeah. What came before everything?
So, I mean, I'm not as familiar with them, so I'm kind of like, why? Like, do we need to have this?
I mean, yeah, like I'm on the same boat, but at the same time, I was in the same boat as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And look how great those two movies are.
Right. I'm more concerned the fact is like we could do Galactus, right? And
they don't have them yet. So that's what this Eternals to me feels like. The filler until the acquisition of all the Fox properties is 100% complete.
Yeah.
And then Bob Iger actually came out because Kevin Feige came out and he was like, "Oh, you guys, of course, are asking me about the acquisition of the mutants and the Fantastic Four and everything. I don't know. They don't tell me everything yet because it's not finalized." And then Bob Iger came out and he was like, Kevin Feige will be running our mutant universe and the X-Men universe, and it is happening, and it will be amazing. So.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I misspoke. I got my God damn it. This is why I don't like the space aspect of Marvel. I misspoke on what the Eternals actually are. I'm actually thinking about the Celestials when I described them. The Eternals are basically they're different. They're like, think of them like mutants, but like immortal mutants. They're like an offshoot of humanity. That's why I'm like, this story sounded like it would be stupid to me, because how are you going to do a movie about the creators of the Marvel universe? It's not them. I apologize. I completely misspoke. I got my wires crossed. The Eternals are more like Tim said, they're like the new gods of the Marvel universe. They're like an offshoot of like immortal superhuman beings that live forever and have superpowers.
Oh,
they're not like, we invented everything.
So it's still filler.
It's still filler. It is a side cosmic aspect of the Marvel universe.
But the crazy part is it'll be good.
It will be. I mean, they'll find a way to make it good. Yep. If they made Ant-Man good, they can make this good.
They didn't make Ant-Man and the Wasp good though.
Because they're working on it, but I don't know if they have a director for it yet.
For what?
The Eternals.
All I have is that they're starting production in 2019, so I'm imagining they would have a director.
Not necessarily.
But that's so. I don't know that we're all hateful or grateful for this. We're kind of like, well, here comes more Marvel stuff, and it'll probably be good.
It's an obscure Marvel property. It might be good, but I'm not, like I said, I obviously got my wires crossed, so I'm not familiar enough with them to really care.
And I think that's what they're banking on, right? They're kind of banking on that people aren't as familiar with it. So if it's not true to like the story itself, a lot of the casual, like really MCU Marvel fans will be like, oh, I'll go watch it and see what it's about. And if they get something like wrong, they're not going to like complain.
Right.
It has potential, but like I said, it is a Jack Kirby property, but it's like the New Gods and it's like the mutants, and it's not really.
Just wait for the mutants.
Just wait for the mutants.
Just wait for them. Just
meh. Can I go meh?
Meh.
I'm going with a meh instead of hateful or grateful.
Okay, we can do meh.
Meh.
Yeah, it's meh.
It's mehful.
Meh is the middle of the road.
But that is your hateful for grateful for this week.
Well, I'm excited for a lot of things Blizzard's got on the horizon. I am going to keep playing Overwatch and some of their other games as long as I can find the fucking time to do it. But I don't know. I was excited for BlizzCon this year. I am understanding why a lot of the fan base is not happy with a lot of the announcements. But there was some cool shit in there. Hopefully Blizzard has more stuff down the line. Usually a lot of the cool stuff gets out mid-year.
Right.
Like it's not good. It's not always perfect timing for their convention.
Right. And it's Blizzard, and they've been around for decades, and I'm sure they'll come up with their next World of Warcraft, right, so to speak. They're usually on the front edge of the gaming community. They usually have been the forerunners.
Well, hopefully they'll figure it out in the future, and their fans won't rip them to fucking pieces in Town Square.
Nerds, we complain and we still pay and play.
It's so true. Look, that's why Destiny still has fucking people playing it.
Right.
All 10 of them. Anyway, thanks for tuning in again to the Hateful Geeks. I'm one of your many hosts, Phil.
And this is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
This is Tim.
And Zug, quit poking me.
Something need doing?
Yeah, it need ending show.
And we're thankful that you stayed a while and listened.
Oh, fuck. You got that Decker Kane in there at the end, didn't you?
That was wonderful.
Sir.
Bravo! I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!